Oh, mic check! Das bringt ja überhaupt nichts. This is doing nothing. I don't have my Twitch app open as of now. So I'm not even... I can't listen to me. So this mic check was complete nothing. It didn't make any sense. Now, a mic check. A mic check. Beautiful. Welcome to Torment, the tides of the Numenera. The doesn't stand here, but you know, I'm doing it as I want. So we continue with our journey through the ninth world. We are still in the bloom, and this is basically the last destination we will be in, apart from some otherworldly destinations, I'd say. I made myself small so that you can see the game. And we will continue in and or with... I don't know. What have we done the last time? Well, I think if this is the quick save and this is frame. I called the last save, but that's 36 minutes ago. Okay, we will choose this one. And we do have a journal, so why not look there? This is the vast interior. We could do with some rest. We also could not do some rest. We do have the magmatic amulet, but it also helps us on our way through the bloom, I feel. It likes us when we have this magmatic amulet. It helps us to control the bloom. So we will hold on to that until we really, really want to give that to Dracogen to continue and to complete this quest. Until then, we are going into Little Nihliesh. Yeah, attractive people. We really should have gone with the already dead woman, but that's too late. Missing patrols. Have I found all of them? No, we had 2 patrols. We only found the one in the old slave block. I think we will find the next one in Little Nihliesh, where we are going to go right now, because this is the mutant stream. We do have the frame. Yeah, let's bring that to Orth Faung, because that's Aligern's quest. And we like our friend Aligern, and in fact, we are going to talk to him right now.
Let's get back to Orth, eh? I want to know what he has to say about this frame. What his big secret is.
Das völlig in Ordnung, Shiroxy. Halloin erstmal. Kein Grund, dich zu entschuldigen. Es ist ja alles verfügbar hier noch auf Twitch. Heute oder morgen werde ich es auch, wahrscheinlich eher morgen, werde ich es auch vielleicht sogar heute, auf YouTube hochladen, dann auch ohne Werbung. Sehr gut, Shiroxy. Also kein Problem, wenn du es nicht geschafft hast. Schön, dass du jetzt hier bist. Wenn du es jetzt auch nicht länger schaffst und eigentlich nur hier bist, um mir das zu sagen, ist es auch in Ordnung, Shiroxy. Do what you want. With Torment or with Broken Sword, you mean? Why not the other order? Don't you stink after you cook? Like oil and fat and onions? And you feel so greasy after cooking? That's how I feel sometimes. That's why I like to shower after cooking. No? Okay. So you don't take a grease bath. Okay. Then maybe I'm just doing it wrong. You mean Baphomet's Fluch? I have no idea how far into the game I am, because this world map distracts me. It's because when we go to the aeroport, there are flags shown from Germany, Turkey, Russia, Italy, Greece, all these countries. And I thought at the beginning of the game that maybe we will get into each of these countries, but we have gone to Ireland, and the Irish flag isn't there. There's only the British flag, but Ireland doesn't belong to Great Britain. So, and Syria, our next destination will be Syria, and it's also not shown on the map. So maybe they just confused me with their world map. I have to say, Shroxy, nochmal auf Deutsch. Es fing richtig gut an. Ich mochte die Charaktere. Ich mochte, dass die alle irgendwie was hatten, alle irgendwie verrückt waren und so. Die Jokes fand ich auch echt viele gut. Und die Story war irgendwie interessant. Jetzt langsam wird die Story unnötig kompliziert, finde ich. Aber das viel schlimmere Ding ist, dass ich einfach finde, das Gameplay ist ziemlich öde. Doch, irgendwie. Die Rätsel, die ich schaffe, sind zu einfach. Und die ich nicht schaffe, sind so. Immer wenn ich dann gucke, weil ich dann doch in die Lösung gucken muss, weil ich einfach nicht weiterkomme, denke ich nicht, oh, natürlich, wieso hast du denn da nicht raufgeschaut? Sondern entweder ist es nur irgendwas, was ich ganz unten links in der Ecke nicht gefunden habe. Pixel Hunting kam weniger häufig vor. Viel häufiger ist es dann so, dass ich einfach denke, aha, darauf kann ich nur mit Trial and Error kommen. Und nichts anderes. Und das sind einfach, ja, und da gab es jetzt so ein paar Rätsel von und ja, das Gameplay also, ne. Und es nervt mich, dass schon bei den ältesten Adventure-Games konnte man Doppelklick machen und dann rennt die Braut dahin. Wie Xanthia bei Legend of Corundia 2. Oder auch dem Vorgänger. Und auch bei Monkey Island war das, glaube ich, sogar schon so. Aber bei Baphomets Fluch lässt er sich einfach immer Zeit. Und wenn man nicht auf die Lösung kommt, muss man 5 Minuten sitzen, bis man dann wieder zurück da ist, weil man dachte, man sucht doch noch kurz was ab. Ja, das ist ein bisschen schade. Ja, die Charaktere sind immer noch gut und ich hoffe, dass die Rätsel vielleicht wieder, weiß ich auch nicht. Ich muss sagen, es ist ein Spiel, bei dem ich froh bin, wenn ich es durch habe. Ich würde es nicht einem Adventure-Gamer oder Gamerin unbedingt als super geiles Spiel empfehlen. Da wüsste ich andere. Aber ich finde es auch gut, dass ich es gespielt habe, weil ich es schon immer mal spielen wollte. Und jetzt wirklich weiß, wie ich es finde und wie es ist. Ja. So. Let's continue with Torment of Numenera. Let's get back to Orth. Do you want a short, summary of, I don't think that's worth it if you have to shower and then cook. I will just play the game. What are you making in the kitchen? What do you have today? You and your story. Again. Okay, nothing else. Let's continue.
Yes.
And let's go to Orth Faung and give him the frame.
Go.
Und that urgent stuff that came up, is that something you want to share, or do you say, or, oh, it's so boring, I wouldn't know why we should talk about that. Aligern, a smile does not include you. I hope that all progresses well. Is this the frame you're looking for? One quick glance at this edit is apparently all he needs. He yelps with delight, takes it from your hands and strokes the joints of the collapsed frame. He studies it carefully. It doesn't appear that the murders have damaged it extensively. It still seems to have that constant low hum of power, and yes, this will do nicely. He hands you a bag with an impressive amount of shins inside. 350 shins.
I need to talk to you.
He grabs Aligern's forearm. Pull one of these halfway out, Ellie. He keeps his other eye trained on the frame. As Aligern lifts a tattoo, hissing and buzzing from his skin, Orth leans forward, licking his lips. Yes. He grabs Aligern and kisses his friend full on the mouth. My friend, I forbid you to use your tattoos anymore unless... He pauses, clearly building for dramatic effect. Unless you enjoy throwing your family and friends. He beams. Is that good? His Aligern's mouth hangs slightly open and there's a sunken look to his eyes. The smile slowly disappears from Orth Faung's face. I thought this might be happier news for you, Aligern. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've never completed Aligern's story, so this is news to me, and I don't understand it yet. Okay, so his tattoos are his family? And so what are you saying? I'm saying that all this time, Aligern, you have been carrying around your family and friends. They've been transmuted into energy and transplanted onto your forearms. Those creatures you saw, nothing more than a visual representation of the deconstruction process. Your family wasn't devoured, Aligern. They are alive. Orth. Are you saying that I have been using my family and friends as weapons? I have been stealing their power to defend myself? Have I damaged them? He grabs Faung's arm and rasps. How do I restore them to humanity? Well, yes, you have been using them like that, which is why I suggested that you take special care with them. But they might not have suffered ill effects. I cannot say for sure. All you need to do is reactivate the frame and they will be restored to you. He scuffs the ground with his foot and mutters. We can evaluate their progress then. Aligern snatches the frame from Orth and snaps it out to its full expanse. He runs his fingers along the sides, his agitation increasing by the moment. Why is this not working, Orth? Why isn't this working? Special activation sequence. Is that true, Orth? Could that be it? Perhaps, yes. If this device functions as a matter decoherence and imprinting transfer, it will necessarily require a passcode of some sort to unlock it. It wouldn't do the ancient users any good if they accidentally recorporealized their passengers, wouldn't it? It would require an act of intentionality. He taps his lips thoughtfully. So, do you happen to know any extremely powerful psychics? Someone stronger than a mere mind reader? One of them might know how to unlock this code from your mind. But I am no student of the psionic arts, my friend. I have done for you what I can, and frankly, I think my efforts have been sufficient. I might just know the person. She's back in Sagas Cliffs. Once we're out of the bloom and I'm done with this cast of business, I'll go find her. He wraps his arms around Faung in a sudden embrace and his voice is husky. I am forever in your debt. You have been sufficient and more than sufficient. You've been heroic. I will. Faung waves an embarrassed hand. You gave me a puzzle, Aligern. It was a delight. Though, if you could explain to Min just how helpful I've been and tell him how I unlocked the secret none of them could, that would go a long way toward clearing this debt you mention. He fakes a cough as if unused to displaying emotion. Well, my work is finished. I really must return to my position in the order. Farewell.
I'm ready to become even more heroic.
Okay, first of all, let's level these peepos up. Always edge. Always might edge for him. We have a might weapon, don't we? You also get, on the other hand, cipher limit. We have too many ciphers. Ooh, way too many. Sell some of them. On the other hand, we could also try to... Well, Aligern, you must carry more ciphers. Which we do with... Okay, none of those skills. How would we... How could we? Which skill is used for this? Concentration. No, cipher use. Ah. But we cannot increase cipher use. Okay. Anyone else? Can you increase your... that's too late. Then... Let's increase... His might edge. Yes. Confirm. Aligern, I think we should talk. That's good news, isn't it?
I don't know how to thank you for your help with the frame, with the tattoos, with my family. I know I haven't been the easiest companion, or the most trusting. I hope now you know why I behaved as I did.
Well... Yeah. For the first time, the pain in Aligern's eyes is gone. The tight lines that surround his mouth have loosened, and something that looks almost like hope struggles to creep into his expression. I wish we'd known sooner. I'd have stopped using the tattoos. If my family, my friends are damaged. I guess we'll see what happens. So, how do we activate the frame, Aligern? He will do that later. Yeah, okay, I understand. So we don't even see... We don't see what he does with this frame. Okay, we've done that. That's cool. Completion! Yeah! Yeah, I think almost all of the other quests lead us into
At last.
Little Nihliesh. So that's where we're going. And after we've been there, I think we can rest for free at Kian's. So maybe we should have gone there sooner, but well, okay, now let's do it now.
Yes.
Let's do it now, people. Let's do it now. Little Nihliesh. As you enter the slum, you nearly crash into a small confrontation. 5 mutants surround 3 guards dressed in the distinctive garb of the Memoreer's enforcers. This must be one of Brusca's lost patrols. Before you hear them say a word, you already know the mood here is ugly, and it's likely to turn to violence soon. A mutant who looks like his face is full of spores or insect eggs leans toward a disgusted, terrified human and says, "You're leaving a trail of fear piss. Would pay you for protection." One of the other guards, less phased, pushes the mutant back. "It ain't fear piss, it's the spit you're spraying when you talk. Why don't you go hedge your eggs by burying your face in a pillow? Real people are conducting business here." A second mutant, one who'd been observing the fracas, noticeably bristles, thorns literally emerging from his arms, shoulders, and face, and he pushes forward. "Every damned one of you looks the same. 2 arms, 2 legs, no surprises. You want to collect our money? I'll make you eat it and your friends can't collect it from your rotting shit." The mutant punctuates each sentence with an increasingly vicious stab of its finger. And what's moving there? Something's moving there. Isn't it? Something's falling down. Okay. You can feel a bloody tide rising, and if you wish to intervene, the clock is winding down. Let's talk to the Memovira sergeant. Talk! Tibia, talk! This burly man's face seems to have been partially melted in some unspeakable battle. Keeping his eyes on the mutants, he says, "Ask your questions, but you might want to do it quick. I don't think our hosts want to put off their fun for much longer." I'm speaking with the Memovira sergeant, okay. Yeah, I don't know, that's not good. How did this situation start? Yeah. We make this route every month. We're collectors. It's our job to bring in revenues for the Memovira from her loyal subjects. He pauses as the mutants break out raucous, derisive laughter, then continues. Raucous? I don't know. Raucous? Whatever. But they laid in wait for us and got the jump on us as we walked into Little Nihliesh. The thugs seem calm for men whose lives are being threatened. They recognize the words, but they don't seem to believe they're in much danger. Okay, Eritis, talk to the spiny mutant. The spine-covered mutant's eyes remain focused on the Memovira's enforcers, his mouth drawing thinner and thinner. How would the Memovira retaliate? They burst out into laughter, and their thorned leader replies, "What can she do? The bloom is done with her. Her grasp be weak." Skepticism and distrust mar the mutants' already unpleasant faces. They don't know or trust you. Okay, talk to spiny mutant. You focus on the thorn-covered mutant and the weight of your gaze turns his head. "What do you want, human? You want in on a long-due bloodletting? You'd better talk fast. We're itching to get started." The spine-covered mutant's eyes remain focused. Oh, yeah, I know. How did the situation start? They came to collect their protection money for the Memovira, but the Memovira can't enforce anything. She's weak. Everyone knows it. Look at these poor specimens. They can't even protect themselves. The mutants grumble at you, cursing your intervention. Okay, Aligern. You do it. Keep them alive. Oh, snazzled. Oh, shit balls. Yes! The mutant's leader looks at his fellows and back at you, and he makes some calculations. We understand you want to stay on the Numenera's good side, but this has to end. Unless you can think of another way, we've got to put them down before they steal the last shin in Little Nihliesh. The atmosphere of rage and hate seems to be fading. You even see one of the mutants smile. At least, it looks like a smile. Goons aren't welcome here anymore. Okay. This doesn't end well for you. I bet it will. Okay, Tibia. What does the Numenera do with the collections? She pays us mostly, and the mercenaries who come through the moors and the bribes to the Zagos Cliffs officials. But she's been falling further and further behind on those payments. Like as not, she'll want vengeance if we fall. She needs this money, and she'll use her nastiest tricks to get it back. The mutant leader shifts his weight as the sergeant speaks, but he does not retreat. The thugs are alert, but they are not frightened. They don't seem to believe that violence is imminent. Can I talk to him again? Talk to the spiny mutant? Okay. Next turn. Artis! You... Who's in charge of this area? Yeah, okay. This arouses tired laughter from the assembled mutants. You'd recognize Garkoto if you saw it. Our prince lives in the tank in the center of Little Nihliesh. Not big on mobility, our prince. Laughter resounds again, and then the mutants focus on the enforcers. The eyes of the mutants no longer glower at you. Indeed, they almost seem intrigued. Glower? I don't know. Anything else I can do? No, okay. What kind of leader is Garkoto? The thorny mutant steps back a moment. Garkoto is wise. Garkoto is crafty. Garkoto thinks in circles and in mazes to find the best results for our people. Garkoto almost never takes direct action, says that hasty choices become their own legacy. Yeah, you see, spiny mutant? With a few more well-chosen words, you might manage to avert bloodshed here today. Anything else I can do? Anything I can say to you? No? Okay. Come on, Aligern! Garkoto wouldn't like that. Oh! Snazzledy dazzle. How that? Yeah. How come? Oh, they trust me deeply. Yeah, come on. We do it! Aligern! Woohoo! Well, the prince did tell us to keep to ourselves, heads down like. Garkoto might be angry if these goons die. The mutant's eyes soften slightly, but his thorny fists remain clenched. The mutants no longer look to their thorny leader, they are watching you. They want to avoid violence. Good. Can I do more? I cannot. Proxy eyes and get gone, human. You want to answer to the Numenera? Chill out, people, chill out. Spiny mutant, come on. Let's talk about this. Let them go. Lucky I have Tibia.
Making a note.
The mutant's leader looks at his fellows and back at you, and he makes some calculations. As you say, he replies, scowling at his companions. He says to them, These are deaths we can't save for another time, aye? No point in bloodshed with outsiders witnessing. They too look at you, and some unspoken agreement fills their eyes. The human sergeant wastes no time. My thanks, he says over his shoulder as he hustles his troop toward the exit. We won't forget this. Much obliged for your help. The Memoria will hear of this. Nicely done, man. No, nicely done. Now. Little Nihliesh. I think this might be the biggest... Or isn't it? No, it's not. Oh, I thought it was bigger. This, section. I mean, it's not small, but I thought it was bigger. Okay, now... Let's go... Let's see. Let's go and see. What exactly does that do? Cipher sickness. -2 speed pool. -2 might pool. -2 speed pool. -2 intellect. Yeah. Okay, for Eratus, this is completely unnecessary. I mean, we don't care about that. I mean, I could sell. Maybe I should sell some of Morpheus, Soifos. Okay, what's here? First of all, which I do in every kind of Infinity Engine-like role-playing game, top-down, isometric. Let's clean this fog of war here. So we will step as far as we can into here, but nothing happens. Okay. This ancient stone structure seems out of place in the bloom. Similar buildings are scattered around the chamber, as if an entire town was swallowed up by the bloom and deposited here in the distant past. Mutant? You think those goons will come back? If they do, I'll bet they bring more friends. Did you smell those goons before they ran away? At least one of them filled his trousers.
Why not?
Once, just once. I want to show the Mimavura's goons how strong they aren't. Probably better that we didn't kill those thugs. We scared them, and now they'll treat us with more respect. Spiny mutant. Hello, Mr. Spiny. Those humans were lucky you were there to help. Next time you won't be, and they won't be either. Okay. Okay. Good I was here. Good I was here. Shut enough. This structure was built in a style you've never seen before. This stone is pitted and ancient.
Doing it now.
I just saw there isn't no fog of war here in this place. Crimper. Hey there, Crimper. What are you crimping at? This filthy old man is dressed in a motley of rags, arranged artfully to emphasize the inhuman reach of his needle-like fingers and the two protruding humps on his back, as if his mutations are a source of pride. He wears smoked goggles on his forehead, parked above his transparent eyelids, and his noseless face. His teeth are small, even, and shining white. He shows them often as he smiles to himself. His pockets are filled with trinkets and baubles that he has picked from the piles of trash. He raises his head and says, "How does it look like?" He has no nose, hasn't he? Aye, what have we here? Who comes to disturb old Crimper? Have you come to search through this bounty with me? You're welcome to share. Share, you hear? What you doing here? Aye, what does it look like I'm doing? I dig. and I answer questions for fools. Not everything in a trash heap is trash, but wastrels abound. Why waste? Why waste indeed? He combs through a mound of trash with uncanny speed and precision. Anything valuable ever? His tone instantly softens, sounding almost pleased. Oh, yeah. People lose all kinds of treasures in the trash. He sits back and pushes up his goggles. Unexploded detonations, blocks of metal that spark and steam with nano-spirit swarms, a marble with a cloud of insect inside, half-used healing injectors, a collostrian Azrael even. That brought me many shins. What's the best item? It was this. He fumbles around in his pockets, slapping at his shapeless rags before he reaches a hidden stash and pulls something out. It's an ugly, vomit-green cylinder made of organic material about half the size of a forearm. Covered in knots and holes and tendrils, it looks like it might still be alive. I found this a year ago. It was buried near Koto's tank, and I would have missed it if it hadn't wriggled. Listen. Listen. He squeezes it and sets it down, and the thing begins to sing in a slow, discordant tone. The device shivers and rolls around on the ground, hooting and piping through tiny mouths in its tendrils and halls, and then issues a melancholy belch. A melancholy belch? That's possible? The mouths close, and the thing ceases its movement and sound. He titters a bit. I laugh every time. I hate to shed blood for this one. Some human thought to take it from me. He drops it into one of his outer pockets. Lots of trash here. This is the midden for the bloom, to be sure. I've crossed through many chambers and cavities, and none of them have this kind of refuse. We mutants do not make this much mess, and new piles of garbage appear daily. So much work. Why so much trash? The bloom drops it here. Oh, that's why it's falling down. What's falling down? All over the bloom, all through the bloom. Even places on the far side of the bloom. Little cultures I will never see. Their food and clothing and tools wind up in their trash, and their trash winds up here. Songbox? Mm-hmm. Let's not steal his little music box. This feels wrong. Child. There's plenty of questions about the refuse and the hidden treasures here, but not so much about finding treasures of your own. Have you ever dreamed of picking your future from the ground? I can show you. Oh, yes. Klar. I'd be happy to learn whatever you have to teach me. Good. The first possession in your hands should be on your hands. A trash picker needs gloves or skin like synth, stone, glass, or do a combine in these piles. And like as not, some sharps will pierce your skin. You want none of that fluid in your core, child, or you'll end up like Crimper here or poor Rung, not right between the ears. He continues in that vein for a time, leading you to various trash piles. This one, picked clean. See how the pile is strewn and behold? Strewn and behold? A pile of last resort. You want those relatively undisturbed. You spend some time looking for newer piles, and you're rewarded with the pleasure of sifting through some organic goop and chemical-scented tailings, but eventually you find something that may be useful and you pocket it. The ancient spirit cube. Intricate patterns are carved on all sides of this small metal cube, which fits comfortably in the palm of your hand, or your hand, and spreads warmth throughout your body. Now, over here, the others hit the pile quick, but not deep. You want to go deeper than the surface? But you need to go fast and careful. He shows you how to dig through a larger pile quickly and safely, maneuvering around jagged chunks of broken synth, shattered strong glass, and splintered wood. At the end, you find an interesting piece, and you take that too. The Everlit. This looks like an ordinary white candle set on a metal base, Its material is firm, pliable, and doesn't burn or melt. There is no wick. An illegible inscription is engraved on the metal base. When you turn your eyes away, a flickering flame lights up the room, casting dancing shadows. The flame always disappears when you look back. Hey, that's a cool oddity. You learn quickly. You have a true gift. Come back and share some time with me, child. Having paid careful attention to Krimpa's lessons, you feel that you could now locate other treasures into the trash of Little Nihliesh. Farewell, child. No, Krimpa! Oh, okay. Okay. I thought maybe I could trade with him or something, but I can't. So, let's continue after the break. Pee break! Whoop whoop! Mic check. Aha! Nicely. Done? No, I didn't do anything. Trash pile. Ooh, the trash piles of Little Nihliesh illustrate perfectly the prevailing attitude that the mutants are garbage, only barely tolerated. The scent of unidentifiable refuse, leaking organics, and the sharp smell of melted synth combine in a particular odor that makes your stomach churn. But something does catch your eye. A glint of metal, perhaps something shiny, dramatically out of place in the use and decay. Dig into the trash. The disgusting garbage pile shifts a number of times as you shove its order aside, and the metal you glimpsed remains tantalizingly distant. At last, though, you see a broad patch of metallic surface and snatch it before another avalanche of fetid waste collapses over it. It's a helmet similar to those worn by the Lascars you have met. And the encrusted filth of the bloom covers this helm surface, inside and out. Inside and outside, blue is this house with the blue little windows and the blue cup. Shitballs. It looks like it would fit a human head, but the technology that created the helm is far beyond the capabilities of anyone in the Ninth World. Lights flicker from inside, and the helm intermittently broadcasts short bursts of speech in a female voice. More!
Now.
Dang it.
Why, of course.
On it.
I have the bubble house. I don't know, something about this bubble house looks very, very comfortable and cozy. Ain Tosson. He's interesting. A stunning man in formidable garb greets you with arms wide open. With your arms wide open. His golden eyes stir strange, unbidden feelings in you. My friend, welcome. I am Ain Tosson. The sound of his deep, rumbling voice makes you think of a waterfall at the rise of the morning sun, beatific and profound. It makes you feel drunk. He talks further, but you can't really follow what he's saying at first. It's just such a pleasure to hear that voice. And then you feel a sensation, like an icy finger on the top of your skull, and the warmth spreading through your limbs cools. The image of the glowing waterfall cascading through your mind dries to a trickle. Ain Tosson trails off, watching you curiously. Study the man. You watch him quietly for a moment, and something odd happens. His gaze thickens, drifting away from you, as though you have vanished, as though you are only visible to him when you are speaking. And yet, you still feel that probing warmth within your mind, like fingers searching a dark space for treasure or food. Are you trying to hypnotize me, man? No, not trying. Trying requires effort, and the effect is quite beyond my control, he says with a slight genuine smile. The effect is caused by my passion for studying the web of connections between people, even separated by words or death. Even in death, connections persist. His humor continues fading. He seems thinner now, frailer, less human. His voice is a dry, papery, ancient thing. My studies took me all over this world and to lands beyond the stars before I finally came to the bloom. Here, my hunger took on a more literal meaning. With careful hands, he opens his clothing, exposing a maw, one of the bloom's sentient mouths. You sense otherness beyond it, a gateway to a place beyond this one. I told you that my studies changed when I came to the bloom. One of the maw's tentacles winds around his wrist. Oh, this is how. A maw claimed me. Now, we both feed, quite harmlessly, mind you, on the connections between people. I understand the sensation can be quite pleasant. The tentacle slips reluctantly from his arm. If you wish to feed us, bring a close friend to visit us. We will be here, waiting. Farewell. Save. And what? A silky heat fills the air. You feel comfortable, lazy, happy. He holds one hand before him, centered on your chest. Then his finger moves to Aligern, over to Eritus, to Tibia. Okay, each one of them. I don't want to feed you right now. I know. Farewell. Excusez-moi. No, I don't want. Sounds creepy. The whole middle section of this building is gone, erased from existence by something that passed directly through. The most likely culprit is the vehicle that rests a short distance away. This one, I think. Maybe. And it's looking very active. But it didn't come out from here, it just appeared here. Oh, maybe this was a maw. And out of here. Okay. Something about this place and this dream today. Maybe I don't remember Little Nihliesh that well. But it feels good. Playing it feels good. This appears to be the back end of the crashed vehicle you saw in the Memorvira's courtyard. So this is where the courtyard is, which would geographically make some sense. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Oh, more trash. What if it shocks me? Then we get to laugh at you. Come on, children, entertain me. Okay. Then be boring. Stupid children. Yes. Fleetfoot Moss. Great for anyone who likes speed. Which would be Tibia, so here you go. I don't need that. I need anything. You touch it. Oh, okay. They still don't say what they want to touch or don't want to touch. Young mutant. I think these two want me to die. No one who ever went into that wreck came out again. I heard Orrin has been missing for days. We're trying to get Alupo to check out the cantina, and he's got the heart of a Dossie.
There was lots of neat Numenera near the Katina when it crashed here, but all the stuff that was easy to find is gone now.
I don't know why my voice kept getting higher.
I'm ready.
This happens when you, while you're talking, find out that no, you don't sound like a child. And then this happens. This structure was built in a style. Yeah. Just like that? No. Like the other one. Okay. I wonder what he has got to say. As you approach this bulk of stone and fur, it starts to move, becoming less of an inanimate object and more of a man. Before you stands a giant figure with a beard so thick it seems like sculpted granite. But when you see his gentle eyes, a tangible wave of peace washes over you. I am happy to see you, Aligern. He speaks carefully, as though every word is a step upon icy ground. You have been gone too long. I'm not the man you think I am. Aligern grunts, but doesn't comment on your words beyond that. Gentle confusion crinkles the mutant's stony brow, making a sound like boulders shifting against one another. It is me, Aligern. Wonder. Perhaps it has been too long. Perhaps you do not remember me. I'm sorry that I've made you unhappy. Maybe this will... because I feel that Aligern would never have said that. Do not be sorry. You must help many people. It was foolish to think you would remember me. Why have you returned, Aligern? Can I help you in any way? How are you, Wonder? Better than before. Better than before we met. Then there was sadness in me, rage and sadness, fed by my many thoughts. But you found the stranger inside me and took it out. Since that day, I felt peace. I do not know. But it entered my head in the accident. It was heavy, like a golden stone. It made my thoughts faster, but sharper. They made me sad. They made me angry. The warmth of his smile ripples across his face. But you told me you could help. You took out the device, took away the dangerous thoughts, leaving me calm. You said you had more use for thoughts than I did. What thoughts? They are hard for me to remember now. But it was my voice. You should not have left them, it said. And they are gone because of you, it said. You must learn from this, it said. But when I tried to learn from the thoughts, they increased, they shouted. They would not leave me alone. What was the stranger you mentioned again? Took the sadness and the rage away. A device from an accident? What was the accident? Farewell. Yes, Aligern. Farewell.
Fine.
This statue depicts an eyeless, many-breasted mutant. It appears to be screaming. Many-breasted?
Sideways.
Not as erotic as I thought this might be. Many-breasted? Doing. I've talked to you, haven't I? Oh, did you make that noise, Maul? Or what did?
All right.
You can dimly make out a misshapen figure that huddles under the makeshift shelter. Its head lolls against the ground, nearly twice the size of its body. Sometimes the things you can see are spookiest.
It's a plan.
Quite often, even. What are you doing here, human? Little Nihliesh is not for your kind. Don't look upon me, human, unless you want to be sick. Why are you making these noises, Mr. Maw?
Here comes the boredom slug.
I think the first time I talked to Wonder, I lied to him, so that's why I haven't done this today. And it feels... It's alright, it's alright. It's okay. Herr Ja!
I'll remember that.
What? This striking woman towers over you. Though she seems gaunt and her skin is pale, even whitish, she still has a healthy glow that shines through a layer of dirt and grime. A flat circle of metal is affixed to her forehead, showing through her long blonde hair. At your approach, she begins to flex and tense, not in fear, but in preparation to fight. Oh, this maw is deep, man. Circle of metal. Forehead. Okay. Healthy glow? Not like Eratis. Nah. Her heavy armor is scarred by energies and battered by blades, but it seems to have retained its integrity. The sigil of 2 crossed swords is etched into the breastplate. She glowers. Have you come to beat the poor prisoner? Then be ready to tell your friends about the day Herja bested you. Then she studies you more closely. Or have you come to question me? Tell Garkoto that my answer is unchanged. He can rot in his soup. She pauses for a moment. I would appreciate an honest soup. The food they provide here would shame a Murden. I have no idea what you're talking about. Herja stares at you for a moment as if weighing her the truth of your words. My apologies. I have been in this place too long, and I am leaping to unwarranted conclusions on the basis of no evidence. So, she scans the crumpled ruins that surround her, contempt in her eyes. You want to ask me something? What you doing here? These mutants have accused me of a crime. They tell me that I must confess to this imaginary horror before they will let me go. So here I sit, rotting away, while they ask me to choose between the truth and my freedom. She rolls her shoulders and looks you squarely in the eye. I choose to honor the truth. Why don't you just leave? Did someone die? For a moment, her eyes threatened to tear, and then She steels herself. Prince Garkoto has cast a spell on me. Here, let me show you. She steps toward you, reaching a hand out to grasp your shoulder, but before she can touch you, her fingers begin to bend as if they had encountered an invisible wall. You see? But in case you think I jest with you, she hurls herself at you, shoulder first, and she rebounds dramatically, staggering backward. I am confined to this space until I confess. Test it for yourself. You lift your hand and wave it through the air. You can even step close to her, and you feel nothing. She takes your hand and says, "Now step back." You do, and at the exact same point where she rebounded from the air, her hand is torn from yours. Ah. They have to have their criminal. I suppose I fit their bill. Why have you been imprisoned? Because they require someone to blame for some deaths among their people, and they chose me. The scum looked for someone different from them, and I happened to be nearby. At this point, I'm inclined to show them what kind of horrors I could visit upon them. Tell me again. What's that sigil on your armor? She looks down, frowning as if she had forgotten she wore such an emblem. This is the symbol of the Aligern Knights. The crossed blades represent our ability to step beyond the laws of nations in order to deal true justice. We seek to reclaim the world for humanity's light. Ah, so she's an Aligern Knight. Seit wann bist du denn hier, Hex? Halloin! Now that I know that you're here, I'll try to keep your choices in mind. Hi! Hi! Was gibt's Neues? Wenn überhaupt. I think this is, I can talk to her about anything, so you don't even have to put in the options because I just will choose everything I can. But maybe there will be something like that again, and then I will ask you. Arbeit an Paradox Games am Suchten. Ah, Paradox Games. Which one? They have many, many games. So, which one? Or several? What can you tell me of the Aligern Knights? Her face lights with passion. The symbol of our order represents our willingness to step beyond the bounds of propriety and advance the cause of humanity. Humanity. She looks around and lowers her voice. Actual humanity. You know. She tosses her hair. If we must take up the blade to mete out justice, we do not hesitate. We travel Midgard for the betterment of all, and those who oppose our mission soon see the error of their ways, and the steadfast, the order of truth itself, blesses us. I am a knight marshal in our organization. I have proved myself many times over, and I will continue to do so as long as I draw breath. She leans back, her eyes closing. Our hunger for justice brings a great physical hunger as well. One council, I recall, they brought us fresh waters distilled from the dew of the mountains, roasted and spiced in, and exotic flaming cheeses. We do not ask anything of those we ate, but sometimes their largesse humbles me. I wonder how she came to... I think she's hungry. I don't know why else she would talk about that. Crusader Kings 3, and now Stellaris. I think I have both at least on my wish list. And actually, I've never played a Paradox game. I have played Empire Total War, which I think is similar, but I like the idea of those Paradox games. I don't like their how they make their money, and I think nobody likes that. I don't think you like paying for $100 for DLCs you don't even want, but somehow think you need. And But someday I will play those games. I've never touched one of them. But I want to. And now I wonder why I haven't already. Maybe someday I will stream, I don't know, Crusader Kings or Hearts of Iron or, well, one of the others. Which do you like the most of the ones you have played so far? Ooh, more info. Our founder, Angul, thought to make a world suitable for humanity. The ancients left wonders, yes, but they also left a legacy of horrors and dangers. We seek to mitigate those dangers and to remove those horrors by word or by blade, and to make the world safe for its true heirs, humanity. If we sometimes must step beyond the bounds of propriety in order to achieve that goal, so be it. The Council has granted me the rank of Knight Marshal for my works, and when the mutants here release me, I will return to my brethren with reports of my activities. Until then, I can only hope for the intervention of someone who hungers for justice as much as I do. What are the allegations? The mutants claim that I poisoned them. A number of them died, and they decided that I was to blame. That is all they are, allegations. Gakoto has no right to imprison me. Let me ask some other questions, but I will get back to that. What can you tell me about Gakoto? The mutant prince? It. I need to remember the mutant is both male and female. Oh, that's why it swims in its disgusting stew of a tank, bathing in its own filth, and somehow it summons powers that keep the rest of its creatures in line. They said Gakoto was a wizard. I didn't believe them until the mutant imprisoned me with its powers. Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were an old Paradox veteran, but okay. Hex, this is one of those things, those choices where I might like your help. Herja seems to dislike mutants. She doesn't seem to. She hates mutants. Of course, we are not a Nazi, so we do like mutants. But do we want more information from her by telling her, come on, tell me? Or by telling her that we also hate mutants and maybe she will open up then? Should we persuade her or deceive her? Do you have a preference? Because I don't really. Okay. I think one is also the thing that I would have chosen normally, because saying two just doesn't feel right. Come on, tell me. Tell me. Come on. Tell me. At 5% should be enough. She studies you carefully, weighing your words against some internal barometer. At last, she says, yes. It's true that I poisoned their water. I could not enter Nihliesh itself, but I had heard of this bastard offshoot of their clan. I wanted to slay one of the Fahat. I took the journey from the Steadfast under considerable peril, and I brought death with me. This is the first time that I have tried something like this. I do not regret what I did. The mutant prince wishes to see me show remorse, but he will not have the satisfaction. What a bitch! She just poisoned some mutants. Crazy ass bitch. Oh no, we talked to her already? Hey, Mr. Mutant. I wonder what this Maw eats. Arrogance, perhaps, or the color green? Or girls with antlers? You do have antlers, don't you? See that maw? It erupted out of the wall and destroyed my damned house!
Fine.
You have all the DLCs. Okay. That's what I would do as well, I think. Always wait until you can get a pack of all the DLC for, not for free, but for much less money than normally. Well done, Hex. Well done. Anything we can do with these oddities? Ooh. Yes, it is. If you're the one paying that much, yes. Wow. Kitty cat, meow meow. Ancient spirit cube. Let's use the item. You hold the small metal cube in the palms of your hands and spreads warmth throughout your body. You can barely make out a soothing voice whispering softly. Listen closely to the voice. Putting your ear closely to the cube, the words are starting to become clear, if fragmentary. Mighty warlords, yet so small. So you shall understand me. Your help, not free, wisdom to bestow. Like so. It rapidly rattles off a series of instructions and then starts repeating them. You're not entirely sure you could follow them or what would happen if you do. Try figure that shit out. Yeah, we do that. That's right, that's another one of them. Europa Universalis. Can you actually play... Do they have campaigns that you can play through, or is it always scenarios and more like a play with no end? Because I'm a sucker for campaigns. And I don't think I have ever... I always thought they must have campaigns because they were so huge, these games, but I don't think I've ever actually read about that. You can figure out most of the instructions, and once the intelligence points them out, the connectors and activation methods seem obvious, but a few steps are explained in an obscure manner. Go back to go forward. Revolve the crux. Go forward to go back, only now. Final. What? Go back to go forward. Revolve the crux. Might be revolve? Turning stuff? Go forward to go back. Detach, go back. Revolve. Depress, go forward. I don't know about the colored wiring. Inspect the device. Each step matches a specific part of the device. It seems you have to detach the power source to rotate the core of the device, after which you can safely reattach the power source and switch the device on. Oh, okay, so this is our character is more intelligent than us, so we do this puzzle for you. But I think I knew what we should do, what we should have done. Anything more? Okay. Let's follow the instructions. For example, Siki 3 goes from 867 to 4. Whoa! It depends on you if you rule the world or not. And yes, some campaign or missions are included. Nice! Good. Well, that's good. Because I like me some missions. But 867 until 1400 whatever, that's a long time. But that's... On the other hand, in Age of Empires, didn't you start as pretty much in the Stone Age and then sometime later you went into space? There were several games that did that. Empire Earth, I remember. No, Age of Empires, did Age of Empires actually allow that? I knew Empire Earth did. Well, the cube hisses and releases some kind of energy outwards through your arms as it curses through your body, exploring your form somehow. It takes you a moment to realize that as it passed, it left new, unfamiliar memories etched into your mind. These memories appear to have belonged to an ancient automaton craftsman, and they increase your understanding of all things mechanical. Nice! The cube itself becomes cold and deadly silent, then begins to fall apart in your hands. You scavenge some valuable bits from the object. Well, 140 shins, that's alright. Nice. 2 armor, 3 resistance, only usable by the last cast of. Is it a cloak? Oh, it's a cloak. 2 armor, 3 resistance. Plus 5 on intellect. Plus 20 movement speed. Plus 20 willpower. Willpower or armor? What does willpower do? I think I prefer my old cloak. Yeah, I just think that 20% sound more than 3 points. 20% sound more than 2 armor. Then 2 points of armor, yeah. I thought the quotation marks should be enough. There's some stars with goals, but not really missions or campaigns. Ah, okay. So you're saying there aren't really campaigns or missions, but only really some scenarios. Ah, okay. Scenarios with some goals. Okay, now I understand. Okay, so it's not as much as I hoped, but that's okay. That's okay. I think I will still try it, at least on a stream, because, well, that's a good way to pass the time, I think, playing that on stream. Have I ever been in the Astronomical Marecaster? I guess I have. Okay. Stuff to sell. Let's put stuff to sell. Aligern gets our stuff to sell. Comes on the navigator, blah blah blah. Evelyn, blah blah blah. Marecaster we used, blah blah blah. Floating pendant, blah blah blah. I don't know. Canarats, blah blah blah. Soul of the Forgotten. But every playthrough is different, depends on what you start. How you start. Ah, okay. So, okay. Well, someday maybe. I have to say, because after the games that I'm currently playing, Torment of Numenera, The Sims 4, Broken Sword, and Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl, all of these 3, except for Stalker, are similar in the way that they are. It's just the perspective, but to me it sometimes matters quite a lot. The perspective from which you see your game. Each of these games doesn't really, and they don't really have any action in them. It's just click here, click there, go here, go there, and maybe this will, on the one hand, in some weeks, I think I will play Skyrim for the first time. On the other hand, I will not play only Skyrim, but maybe other action-y stuff. So, yeah, maybe I will play a strategy game. I thank you for reminding me that I like strategy games. Hex. Master of Orion was my first 4X game. I liked it also very much, but after some rounds I thought, okay, So what now? Because it also didn't have an end game, I think. Or I really wasn't the best at this game after, I don't know how often I played it. Maybe 10 times. But I did play Master of Orion. Skyrim what version? The special edition, modded with the Phoenix flavor. I will play the Phoenix flavor Skyrim in some weeks. Because the November 11th, the anniversary edition will be out, and us special edition users will get an update. But I don't know. Here's the thing. I think I want to play Skyrim on November 11th, so I can hop on the train on the Skyrim hype. But I don't think it's a good idea to use these extra things when they haven't been tested with the mod list that I am using. And the mods are way more important to me than the Creation Club content from the Anniversary Edition. So, I don't know. I don't know if I will play it on November 11th or some days after that. Or even before that. Because maybe I really just don't care about the Anniversary Edition. Stellaris has an endgame. That's good. That's good. Looking forward to it. Soul of the Forgotten. Let's use the item. You're holding a small box in your hands. It is shaped like a casket and beautifully ornamented, with writing etched into the lid in markings that resemble no language you know of. By contrast, the casket is minimalist, even bare on the inside. A single pastille lies within. Inspect the markings on the lid. A skillful hand etched these markings deep into the lid. The glyphs are intricate and strike you as ideogrammatic, but you can't decipher them. And yet, they seem oddly familiar, as if you've seen them before, if not in this life, then in another. I don't know if I have special or legendary edition, but the new edition should be a no-brainer for me. I guess you have... right. Really, right. There was legendary and special. I think first there was legendary, which just means all the DLC. Then special, which you got for free, I think, if you had the legendary edition, which I had, so that's why I got the special edition. And now the anniversary edition will be released. But why would you really buy it again? Because it only has Creation Club content, nothing else. I think, or do you want to play it on another console? Because that's something that you then could do for the first time. Steam says I only have Skyrim. Fuck Steam. Try to remember, have you seen these glyphs before? A memory blossoms, but it is hard to comprehend what you're seeing. It is as if it is seen through the eyes of someone not human. Do you speak this language, or do you not? You see your fingers trace a pattern on a set of glyphs very similar to those in the casket's lid. Almost reflexively, you repeat the pattern on the lid. The casket lid opens, revealing that a small blue figure with long, spindly limbs has now appeared, lying atop the pastille, opening some of his many eyes to look up at you. I have the feeling that there's a civilization of very, very tiny beings living in this pill. The figure clambers up to sit on the edge of the casket. Several eyes are focused on you, blinking at irregular intervals. He starts speaking in a high, wailing tone. You can't understand a word he's saying. Recognizing this fact, he picks up the pastille and reaches it up towards you. What? So that's happening now? I thought that was a memory with what I did on the casket. The figure clambers up to sit on the edge of the casket. Several eyes are focused on you, blinking at irregular intervals. He starts speaking in a high, wailing tone. You can't understand a word he is saying. Recognizing this fact, he picks up the pastille and reaches it up towards you. On the switch I have Skyrim 2. And that should be legendary. I don't know. I don't know what's on the switch. Eat it. Just eat it. Eat it. As you consume the pastille, a burning smell immediately overwhelms all of your senses. Flashes of memories try to force their way into your mind, but they are too alien to understand. After some time, your mind settles down, leaving blurry memories and hazy details. Yet somehow you have gained a full cognizance of the people that this casket memorializes. You understand that the people memorialized by this cask were a secluded people, now long gone, eradicated by a cataclysmic event. You feel the nature of their existence as if it were a tangible being. As they neared starvation, there was no crime, no theft. People sacrificed themselves before they would let others die. Wow. Better people than us. While you do not know them, you will remember them. As the cognizance ends, you find the creature gone, the casket now burning with a cold fire in your hands. In mere moments, it is nothing but ashes drifting away between your fingers. Wow. Stuff you can do in this game. The stuff you can do in this game. That's just a slug splitter. Splitter. I don't need that. Sell it. Gauntlet of Murder. Save. And use the Gauntlet of Murder that I'm sure will just be nothing wrong with it. This deep black metal gauntlet twinkles like the stars in the night sky. A hum emanates from its surface. When you touch the metal, images flash through your mind, too quickly for you to make sense of them. Pay close attention to the images. You place your hand on the gauntlet again, focusing your mind on the images it gives you. They are quick, just vague impressions of the gauntlet's previous wearers. Wearers! Man! You see a shadow in the dark, the gauntlet holding a barbed knife in one hand, then pouncing on his victim. A woman puts the gauntlet on her hand and screams. A Vargillian fights against a mob of 7, the gauntlet wielding a wicked mace just before he dies. Examine the gauntlet. The metal it's made from is not iron or steel, but something more fantastic than the metals of the Ninth World. Otherwise, it appears to be a normal gauntlet. You notice a crust of dried blood around the inside. Put the gauntlet on my hand. The moment you slip your fingers into the glove, the gauntlet bites down on your arm. It feels like millions of razors slide up and down your arm, flaying the skin, then the muscle, then the bone. It's so bad that you pass out from the pain. When you wake, the gauntlet lies on the ground and your hand has regrown. It seems your regenerative abilities are stronger than the gauntlet's hunger. Even so, you feel some of the gauntlet's power in your newly regrown hand. 1 speed pool. Well, why not? More! Oh. My other hand? I guess not. Okay. What happens? Can I put it here and give him to use? No. No, it's just for me, the last cast off. Goody, so we can sell that. Ossified trifolium, just to sell. Patience everlasting, just to sell. This I keep with me. This... Ah, come on. You're a bot and we all know it. Fuck you, host 00312. If you're not a bot, I excuse profoundly, but I'm pretty sure you are. Shake the cube. No answer, no answer, no answer. Okay. Sell the cube. Use the beads of Mother Timas. Touch a bead. Here is half a heart, shattered like a fallen icicle. Fresh blood beats the edges. Touch a bead. He frowns. Questions lead to questions lead to questions. Answers do not quell his curiosity or bring him lasting joy. I think there's new stuff here. Delight. The rough whisper of chitin against silk. Chitin against silk? I don't know. Curiosity brimming from foot to fingertips. Hollow sockets. Thorns of ice plucked out the eyes and whatever they saw. Grief withered by screaming. In life, his logic was cold, cubed, stacked into seamless walls. Now, the walls are melting. These are... They all sound very... dreadful. Once treasure circled her head. Now it is fear that circles her, closing around her throats like hands. Throats? Throat? Throat. Stepping, climbing between cable, cord, and port. The murmur of the city below is like the whispering of waves. He hasn't spoken to anyone in 7 years. He remembers the brittle crack of bone, the blood and the dust. He remembers the taste and smiles. More stuff to read. She sends him words and dreams, parasitical nonsense that clings to him during the day and steals his thoughts. She thinks she's helping him. I don't think she is. Ah, cubed, okay. Now it's repeating. Repeating. I think the ones that are coming up now I have read before in not the Underdark, Underbelly. Okay. Put the beads away and sell them. Nobody needs them. Sell them. This, on the other hand, the Chroma Volume. Wear it like an eye patch. Nothing happens. This is the only thing that I think might be used in some specific circumstance. I don't think it would be, but I want to Google that. So, Chroma Volume. Numenera. What's it doing? Nobody knows. Sorry. Can be worn as an eye patch to help solve the sphere puzzle in the Order of Truth. What? Sphere puzzle. Which we did ourselves without its help. Cool. Nothing I need now anymore, but cool. What's that? Murder Chief's key. I think keys are pretty important, so why not put it to the quest items? I don't know. 2 armor, 3 resistance. Yeah. You have the legendary edition. I don't think that's too bad, really. The special edition, I don't... there wasn't really... Some people prefer the legendary edition, and in fact the special edition made some stuff worse. I think I remember. I just later switched to want to play the special edition because that's the one that's getting modded now. What's that? Also a bonnet item. Custom my pool. Yeah, you might want to have that. That's healing stuffs. Oh, more healing stuffs. That book. We can sell that. Huntress Essence. Can sell that. Maybe someday we will use that, but I don't think we will. But if we want to, we have that now. Okay. Can get this one as well. I think I have enough healing items for myself. Okie dokie. So that's done. Because of the mods, now I remember. So you do have the special edition? Because the special edition is what's currently modded and what people are focusing on. It's not the legendary edition anymore. It was in the beginning. Yeah. Oh, I've talked to you, yeah. Yeah. Ooh.
It's a plan.
And first of all, let's go to the mall. Let's get to the mall today. A reddened mass of flesh protrudes from the bloom wall, surrounded by waving tendrils. The flesh is thick and strong, glistening like a newborn beast. A jagged seam runs across its surface, with faint light spilling from within. This is clearly another maw, though its raw, wet flesh suggests that it formed within the past few hours or days. The whispering voices of the bloom chitter in your ears, and all the other sounds fade into the distance. Listen to the bloom voices. The hissing and chitterings of the bloom are no different than usual as far as you can tell. Your sharp senses provide no particular advantage in hearing the odd sounds. Realize that the bloom's voices are a psychic phenomenon, not a physical one. They are literally voices in your head. Okay, so I have to drink more bloom stuff. Bloom juice. Observe the tongues. The tendrils seem to be fixated upon Aligern. They stretch towards him like the arms of desperate lovers, but he stares carefully out of reach, eyeing them suspiciously. I think this maw wants to eat you. It's your keen powers of observation that keep us all so close to you. I'll stay here, thanks. His eyes follow the dance of the bloom tongues as they strain toward him, beckoning and reaching. What do you think it wants, Aligern? But I liked some mods of the LEs, so no special... time at the moment I have. So it would be an option for me. I think the anniversary edition is based on the special edition. And I think... I don't know what mods you are trying to... There are, as far as I know, many mods have been But you're not there anymore, so when you get back, I will talk to you. What do you think it wants, Aligern? His eyes have taken a faraway look as he keeps a watch on the Morse tongues as if they were hypnotizing him, and his voice has lost its usual harsh edge. Guilt. It wants to eat my guilt. Let's see what we can figure out. For myself, you step closer through the waving tendrils. Though you're well within reach of the maw itself, the bloom tongues don't even twitch in your direction. They're obviously not interested in you at all. Again. Okay, leave the maw alone, and let's get bloom juiced. But we don't have bloom juice. We gotta get somewhere where we can juiced up.
You got it.
Be juiced up. Get juiced up. Juice, 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 juice. I want my juice.
All right.
The construct lies motionless and partly disassembled here. Spider-like legs splayed about it. A piece of knowledge clicks into place. This was a creature known as an accelerator, a machine intelligence housed in a mechanical frame. Though they appear fearsome, the creatures are terrified of death and are always seeking new technology to incorporate into themselves in the hope of prolonging their lives. Inspect the construct. You study the remains of the construct, putting the details together, noticing scattered piles of refuse and burnt holes in the back of its armor. The construct was likely cornered here and tried to flee up the mounds of trash rather than fight its tormentors. They attacked it from behind and it fell, either dead or dying. You peer between the plates into the carcass's interior. Judging by the scratches, gouges, and broken components you see inside, someone purposefully jammed a blunt pole into the construct's innards in an attempt to crush its vital systems. Whether this happened before or after its death is unclear. Then you notice something odd. Some of its wounds are partially repaired, as if someone has been visiting the dead construct and haphazardly patching over the burnt holes. Anything useful? You search for a few minutes but find nothing of value. Scavengers must have long ago picked this construct clean. Absently, you lay your hand upon the metal shell to push yourself away from the wreck and feel a faint, intermittent vibration. Vibration! Okay, Tiber, you are my quick fingers guy. Shitballs. No one else can. Aligern? Not at all. There it is. Come on, Tiber, try it. Yes! Ooh, critical success. Putting a shoulder up against one of the construct's vertical vents, you reach into the dark, probing carefully, following the vibrations rippling toward you. Straining, you walk your fingers up mesh-swaddled objects across a cable to a partially crushed cube, strung with frayed wires. You carefully shift a loose hunk of metal from the cube's surface aside and keep looking for the source of the vibration. A wave of wordless sorrow crashes over you, tinged with flecks of hope. Your gaze shifts back to your hand and the hunk of metal. The alien emotion came through it into you. As if summoned by the thought, a small floating sphere drifts into view. It prods at the cube with a beam of light, then vibrates softly. Watch the sphere at work. The sphere drifts around the inside of the dead construct, occasionally halting to... Yes, it is repairing the damage, as if patching holes in the armor will bring its host back to life. Oh, you're back! Hex! I think the anniversary edition is based on the special edition. So if you want to play these specific mods, I don't think the anniversary edition would be good for you. On the other hand, I think that the many mods, and I don't know which ones you want to play, but many mods have been ported from the original Legendary Edition version, whatever, to the Special Edition. So maybe, I don't know when was the last time you checked that, but maybe you can play them now on the Special Edition version. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Every few moments, it returns to the broken cube and attempts to repair it again. When nothing happens, the sphere vibrates, and when that happens, you hear a soft series of whirring clicks. It may be some sort of machine language, but you can't make any sense of it. I think it's grieving. So now I think I understand. You say that the Anniversary Edition would be a good option for you because you don't have this Special Edition. So you are upgrading not one step, but 2 steps, so it's not so bad anymore. Is that what you're saying, Hex? Am I understanding you correctly? I don't know if I want to... I feel bad.
I'm ready.
Okay, now I understand. That's what I would... If I were you, I would think the same thing, I think. Take the sphere and the module. You pull the communication module from the surface of the cube, and the sphere follows, shivering in the open air. It turns as if taking in the ruined hulk one last time, then it settles into your open palm obediently, shuddering. Inspect the construct again. It's dead. Sorry, Chayotun Sphere, but you're mine now. Ooh. This little spherical flying automaton is a faithful companion to whomever bears a small module used for maintaining telepathic connection with the automaton. If the bearer is damaged, the automaton is activated and tries to repair the damage. The automaton's mind has a tendency to wander, and it takes some mental acuity to maintain its focus through the telepathic connection. Okay. Well, why not? I specifically remember the Chayotun Sphere was one of the artifacts that the people in my Numenera pen and paper game discovered. They had a Chayotun Sphere once. So that is funny. Why don't you have another artifact, Aligern? You don't have any negative effects. Ha! Speed is for him. +1 might edge. That's good. +2 might pool. That's almost worthless. The pool really isn't that. On the other hand, you, Aligern, would you get the Chayotun Sphere? You can heal people already. So maybe it's not you who should have that. And you get this one.
That'll be useful.
Yeah, it will be. Then who else will get the Chayotun Sphere? Tybia, maybe. I think Tybia also has the least amount of health, so yeah. -15 on my tasks, that's He don't care. Cool. Cool. Do you still love me, people? Do you still love me? Yeah. Reveres the last cast off. Likes the last cast off. Oh, I am... Eritus, type of this is not enough. Charging Sphere, we have everything here. We'll get back to the maw. But now...
Doing it now.
Delny and Rung. These two assholes. Let's give... What can I do? 16 points of health.
All right.
Alright. Okay, give me the old stuff. And you get the new stuff. One for you. Yeah, no, it's there. And 2 for you, Tibia. That's good. And 1 for you, Eritus. So I have this. I just got this. Goody. Delny, Rung. Oh, someone mentioned Rung. I don't think I liked you.
I'll remember that.
This sharp-faced young man reminds you of a great rodent, more prone to scampering and sidling than running or walking. Shadows play across his face, distorting his features, and you are unable to get a clear glimpse of his face. Even so, or perhaps especially because of it, he seems to bear a notable resemblance to the young woman standing next to him, their faces shifting and changing in near perfect time. At your approach, he sniffles loudly and drools some phlegmy spit across your path. He wipes his mouth with the back of his hand, and though you can't see his face, his tone conveys this sneer clearly enough. What you want, Popinjay? His voice echoes eerily, a slight delay between the movement of his lips and the sound reaching your ears. Who are you? He draws himself up and seems to loom. I am the shadows, I am the terror in the night. What? I am the shadows, I am the terror in the night and creeping death. I'm the flash of the blade. I am Vrung. He throws his arms wide dramatically. A moment later, his companion does as well. The asynchrony somewhat spoiling the effect. He hisses at her, and the looming presence fades. What you doing here? Ah, ja. Guten Abend, gute Nacht, Hex. Viel Spaß bei Stellaris. Man sieht sich vielleicht wieder. Schön, dass du immer mal wieder auftauchst. Schon seit einem Jahr. Oder länger. Damals noch beim Mixer. Mua, 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 mua. Tschüssi, Hex. Tschüss. Liebe dich. Nein, das tut nicht. Ich liebe dich nicht. Wie denn auch? Wir kennen es kaum. Ich kann dich ja nicht lieben. Ich liebe meine Frau. Die liebe ich. Ah ja. Hex bist ein guter. He looks at you incredulous. His voice dripping with sarcasm, he replies, We're enjoying the fresh air, taking in the ambience. We are living our lives to their fullest. He looks at the young woman next to him and she begins to titter. What can you tell me about this place? It's a parade every day. Don't let the looks fool you. Little Nihliesh is all about the laughter. Maybe you could let the fluid out of Garkota's tank. That's a prank that never gets old. Make sure you do it while the guards are watching. Farewell. Don't come back, Delny. This slim girl is almost a mirror of the boy who stands next to her. They could be twins or clones, so close is the resemblance. You can see that her features are sharp, though shadows flit and play too quickly across her face to be sure of anything else. She slumps almost imperceptibly inside her cloak of darkness. As you open your mouth, her companion interposes himself. What? Why do you hound me so? Who's the girl with you? For the briefest moment, you think you see the face of a victim in her shadows. She casts a despairing eye at you, and then the darkness fills her face with a sneer. Her? She's no one. I am Vrang. I asked who the girl with you is. I said she's no one you need to be concerned about. She's my shadow and my hidden blade, and you should take care I don't stick you with her. Why does the girl's face keep changing when you talk? Why do you keep asking about her? Delny is mine, and she will stay mine until I say otherwise. I am the one who's interesting. I am the one you should care about. Vrang's rage seems to have loosened his control over his companion, for you see a flash of blue skin beneath the shadows. Her mouth works frantically, as if she's trying to tell you something while her captor struggles with fury. With an effort of visible will, Vrang brings himself and her back under control again. Remove the psychic bond. Are you the pair who's been harassing Kian? What? Has she been complaining that we're too mean? Too scary? She can afford it, as we'd be visiting someone else more regularly. Remove the psychic bond. He laughs, a shivering peal of mirthless joy that sounds like ice breaking and glass ringing. She is mine. She'll go on my word, not yours. Strangle him. Ooh, that's so quick and clean, and that the game just gives us the option strangle him. Feels no, we will not. I have the magmatic amulet, you bitch. You touch the amulet and focus on Vrang. You sense his mind, a nest of rage and envy. Touching it is akin to thrusting your hand into a sack of writhing, biting insects. You feel a strong connection between him and Delny, a vice clamped over the girl's mind. Get away from her, Vrang. No problem for me. You're no match for me, Vrang. He looks at you, suspicion dawning in his eyes. What are you doing? He hisses. But you have found the cracks in his mental shields, and you imagine them widening, shattering. He realizes too late what you're doing, and his resistance is feeble, especially when compared to the power you can draw upon. He stiffens and falls backward, convulses, and is still. The shadows slither off his body, evaporating like a foul mist. He's just a scrawny boy, a weasel-faced sneak. As the shadows melt away like a morning mist, his partner's face fills out, revealing pleasant girlish features. Her true skin is a pale blue, and her hair is bright pink. A broad smile crosses her face. He's gone. He's out of my head, that parasitic whisper. Then she looks at him lying on the ground. But what happens when he wakes up? He'll just reclaim me, won't he? What should I do? What do you mean, reclaim you? Reclaim you? If he snapped me once, he knows the pathways into my mind. He once promised me that he'd made a backdoor, and he could take me anytime he pleased, even if... He once promised that he'd made a backdoor, and he could take me anytime he pleased, even if I ran. So they are. Are they brother and sister? Or did they just look like that because they had this shadow over them? I like the light today. The lighting here is quite alright. Burn out his psychic powers?
Updated my journal.
Delny closes her eyes and kneels next to the unconscious man. She places her hands at his temples and you see a purplish electricity arcing from her fingers. Vrang begins to scream in his sleep, the pitch going higher and higher until he tears himself from the arms of sleep. He leaps to his feet and, not even looking at his victim, flees as if pursued by a pack of broken hounds. Delny watches him go, satisfaction wreathing her face. Yeah. Maybe that's best. I don't think I can trust him to never use these powers again. She shakes her head as if to clear it, and a small trickle of bluish blood runs from the corner of her mouth, where she bit her tongue or lips. I don't know how to thank you. You must have questions. How are you feeling? Even though I'm still in the bloom, even though we're still surrounded by all this, even though I need to make amends to everyone I robbed and bullied with Vrang, I feel hopeful. It feels like a new beginning, like the night has been peeled away and discarded. Tell me about yourself. I was born here in Nihliesh, and my parents were good people. I learned the walkways of the second tier by heart. That's how I discovered the portal to the bloom. I kept seeing the traders who came back from here, and they always had such interesting wares. One day I snuck after them. I wanted to see where they came from. That was the day that bloom closed its pathway to my home. I used to think it was my fault, but the bloom doesn't seem to care for me now. After I got here and discovered I couldn't get home, I had to find a way to survive. I found 5 families who were willing to help me and who could afford to feed me once every few days. I helped them when I could and kept looking for a way home, but as I got older, I needed more excitement. That's when I met Vrang. She looks away, unwilling to say much more. It was my psychic power that drew him to me. He saw what I had. He wanted to take it, use for himself. He called me an empathic amplifier. I could read people and I could make their feelings stronger. He used me to find out who the scared people were, and then we preyed on them. Again? Why Vrang? He seemed dark and fascinating. The adults didn't want me to go near him, but it was like a mirror of what I wanted to be. Strong, mysterious, ambitious. I let him bend me and use my powers to make him more of what he wanted to be, and I didn't realize I was trapped until it was too late. If a heart be with you, whoever that is. Yeah, why not? With the glamour removed from her, you can see Delny for who she truly is. A young mutant woman, slender, her light blue skin accentuated by her bright pink hair. Okay, nothing more. Good. Now, I think it's time to talk to the leader. Because we've talked to anybody else and we haven't stepped into that thing. But I don't think that we want to right now. Maybe I think we want to talk to Gakoto. This statue is identical to its nearby twin, except for the fact that its head has fallen off. Oh, the many-breasted breasts. Yeah, I remember. Let's do a Gakoto save. Garakoto. Guard, okay. Hello there. You stand before its noble grace, Garkoto. Keep your tongue civil, and you'll keep your tongue. Hands away from your weapons, human. Okay.
Go.
Now, for the thumbnail. I think this is... Ah! Could have been better. You stand before a painted spherical tank, fashioned of metal and synth. The paint is old and cracking. Inside the tank is a murky liquid, or possibly a thickened gas, and every so often you can see motion from a fluke, flipper, or strangely deformed arm within. We actually can, can't we? A cleverly disguised grill on the front of the tank squawks out the distorted voice of the tank's occupant. It buzzes and moans, drawing out some words and shortening others in a burst of static.
I am Garkoto, a prince of the Fahad and their delegate here in Little Nihliesh.
I sound like Yoda. The voice spits and pops. You have my gratitude for averting the violence with the Memavira soldiers. It buzzes and moans. You have my... Yeah. But I must know. Why did you act? I did not think as far as 3. I'm just a non-violent person. In real life and in games. Oopsie. So I didn't really think so, methodical? I don't know. Felt like the right thing to do. Yeah, gotta tell ya. Felt like the right thing to do. Sorry. It takes a moment, but you identify the strange hissing from the grill as a kind of asthmatic laughter.
The humans were most definitely in trouble. However, their deaths would have transferred that trouble to me. And so you have saved me from an inconvenience, and for this, you have my gratitude. The bloom is dangerous now, and I would shield my people from that danger, as would the Memavira, I hope. The flux in the bloom, and thus the Memavira's weakness, is apparent in the instability of the maws we use for trade and transport. The old maws are closing, and new ones open to take their place. There's a new maw here in Little Nihliesh, one I would like to see opened, but the Memavira refuses to aid me. She won't even leave her fortress. But I have said enough. What would you have from me?
Why the fight? The tank's grill spits a shower of sparks.
The bloom no longer favors the Memavira. The bloom is the source of the Memavira's power. If she has no power, the obligation to pay for her protection has vanished. We pay for reality, not promises.
The distorted voice crackles with an electric sigh.
Perhaps our people have grown tired of the humans taking.
Where did your people come from?
Our home is the city of Nihliesh in the steadfast beyond. My cousins of Fahad rule over the 3-tier city wisely and well. When a maw portal opened in Nihliesh, We investigated to see if we might eke out a profit. We saw enough possibility that our explorer sent for me, a minor prince of the Fahad. I was to head this trade embassy. The speaker makes a slightly embarrassed noise. I did not think that the mall would close behind us, but 10 years ago it did. Ooh, getting dizzy. I have to use another voice. Fahad? My brethren are blessed mutants, each diverging into a new pathway for humanity. We rule over the city of Nihliesh, using the powers bestowed by our remarkable births to lead normal humanity to a new age of possibilities. We are close in spirit, yet rivals in politics, for the truth of a mutation lies in its ability to prove its use. The subtleties of our machinations are lost here, alas. I think I understand. But what are the Fahad? Is that an organization or is that a species? The Fahad again? Okay. Blessed mutants. Scusi, tell me of the steadfast. You ask much of me. I can tell you only what I have heard, for our glorious city is in what they call the beyond. The steadfast is a collection of kingdoms, principalities, and other lesser denominations of feudalism, held together through the dictates of their religion, the Order of Truth. The Aeon priests of the Order have spread their faith far and wide. I hear they have even established a foothold in the city of Sargus Cliffs. More about the steadfast? Nihliesh. The city was once a machine, a colossal device that creates churn. We built atop the machine, creating elaborate structures and impossible architectures, and our city grew into the sky. The great and powerful of Nihliesh live among the fluted spires and the arcing byways, with powered cars lifting us to the skies in a moment. The shops and palaces of our people. Alas, to think that I might die away from my home. The voice goes very quiet. Tell me more. Other questions I have. What about the crashed vehicle? The Katina. A year ago, the clocks began to act strangely, speeding and slowing, pulsing, and then the air seemed to bulge in places. We thought nothing of it, considering our surroundings, but then space itself tore open and this monstrosity tore through Little Nihliesh. It pulverized the house of Antugar and Sauyen, erasing their family. Since then, enterprising scavengers have sought wealth in the wreckage, but most avoid the Katina. It is haunted by the ghost of its passengers. More about the Katina? Why are the moths changing and closing? Do you ask for my knowledge or my conjecture? If the first, then I must confess my ignorance. If the second... He considers, and the grill hisses and sparks when the mutant speaks again. If the second, I believe the bloom has a feeding cycle. It is an enormous organism, you know, and I suggest that these events are part of a larger pattern. The mutant's vast bulk shifts in the tank. Perhaps the bloom is preparing itself for a new Memovira.
Do you want to take the Memovira's place? I don't know how to make a static laugh. I'm sorry.
I do not desire such responsibility, nor do I seek the attentions of the bloom.
Farewell, Gakoto.
Making a note.
As you turn, the speaker buzzes once more. In case word has not yet reached your ear, I am offering a bounty to the first who can open the newborn maw and tell me what lies on the other side. Of course, the first step is to discover what the maw wishes to eat. Without that knowledge, it cannot be opened. I'll look into it. Very well. So,
Yes.
let's save the game again and do another, a better, yeah, I think that was a thumbnail. Woo. Why do you want to open the maw? We are exiles here, far from our home in Nihliesh. It is pardon. We hope that the maw will open again in our fair city. But if it doesn't, as seems likely, we stand to profit from a potential new trade route. Either way, we benefit. Farewell. Let's see when we go there if we can do more. More with the more, huh? Okay, no, nothing more.
Yes.
Herja! Okay, farewell, Herja.
Tell me more, ba 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 ba.
Well, it feeds on guild.
Making a note.
Yes. This is a perfect trial for our prisoner. She can stand before the maw, and unless she has completely divorced herself from human feeling, the bloom will take its due. A fitting punishment. Once she has done this, she is free to go. You will find the disc on her forehead. Turn it 3 times widdershins to release her from her prison. Tell her that if she survives the maw, she has earned her freedom.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I hate Herja and anything she stands for, so you can die. Or for all I care. Back again so soon. Have you come to free poor Herja from her cage? Well, actually, yeah. Draw out your guilt. Ha! I have nothing to confess or to regret, so the maw will find me a paltry meal. I accept your bargain. The disc on her forehead pulses briefly and loses its cohesion to her flesh. It falls to the ground, and Herja's eyes widen as her imaginary prison disappears. She bends over to pick up the disc, and she passes it to you with a mocking smile. As a knight, I live by my honor, and it's my honor to put some miles between this place and me. A quick jaunt to this maw, and then I'll show my heels. Artifact, not only an oddity. I'm intrigued. With a slight sneer, Herja steps toward the maw. I will tell you what I regret. Let the bloom do its worst. Confidence shines from her face, and a proud carriage, even despite the filth that smears her armor, makes her look every inch the knight she claims to be. The maw's tongues reach out to her, grasping and tugging, and as they penetrate into her flesh and draw her close, you can see the first flickers of doubt and fear. Her eyes focus somewhere far away, and she addresses someone who isn't here. She begins to speak through gritted teeth, as if resisting to the pull of the maw on her memories. The spotted dossy. I cared little for it, sister, but your sadness made me cry. She breathes deeply, and something inside her seems to break. Her stoic mask begins to crumble. Didn't mean for them to die. Not like that. Not painfully. Not twitching, frothing, kicking. Not children. I sold some of the metal before I crumbled it into the air. I thought the dose was still toxic. Tears begin to stream down her cheeks. Toxic it was, but not enough to drop them. Screams. That was the first time they ever seemed human to me. But scanning the yellow woman, her tentacles, her sting, she cried and wailed, but she was a monster. Herja sobs and her voice drops to a monotone. Cutting out her babies was a blessing to her, stopping more monsters from entering the world. We all agreed. Keep talking. She doesn't seem to hear, her voice reciting a litany of further crimes. When we brought the tunnel down on the diggers, I could hear their cries through the rubble. Rather than offer mercy, I gave them fire to steal away their breath. Her voice drones on, and somehow this makes her story more horrifying. I heard of the weeping families into the spire, even though I knew that the resonances of the chamber would slowly shiver them apart. I hated them, I thought, but it was only because I feared my fellows' scorn. I called down the threshers, and I stood guard with my blazing spear to keep the fathers from saving their children. I laughed at their cries, and I disemboweled the one because I thought he might serve as a lesson. His blood ran with that of his children, and they all suffered to see the others in agony. We wagered over who would die first. I am a greater monster than ever they were. A piece of shattered synth lies on the ground nearby. Herja snatches it within her free hand and brings it to her neck. Tears pour down her cheeks, and she murmurs, I am so sorry. Too bad when nobody's watching, because this is one of those choices. To me, this looks like seppuku. She was a knight. At least she says she was, and she's choosing her own future. Grabbing her hand, to me, seems evil. I only think I want to grab her hand because that's the thing I did not do my first playthrough. But I can't. Let her commit seppuku. Herja slices deep into her own throat, opening it with a smooth slash. Blood fountains from the wound, splashing across your feet and puddling in front of the maw. Even as the life flees her body, Herja's eyes are haunted, indrawn, and accusing. As if to make certain she has done the job right, she uses the last bit of her fading strength to drive the shard of synth into her chest. She falls amidst the bloom tongues, and they absorb the last of her life's blood. They shove her corpse aside as if the meat of this woman were the least important thing about her.
Making a note.
Air stirs around you, slowly at first, and then a gust as the maw begins to open, expelling atmosphere from an alien world into Little Nihliesh. A black tunnel opens, the skein between worlds stretching taut and then snapping like a call from an infant's face.
Making a note.
Yeah, you can make your notes.
All right.
I just want to step in there, then load the game, and then, because I knew this is not Nihliesh, so okay. Let's reload. In fact, this is another place. We did it, Gakoto. And I think you want me to see where it's leading? That's what I would ask of me if I were you. Though Herja bore us malice for the accident of our birth, still we forgive her, even as we condemn her actions. But the woman is dead. Let her fate serve as an example to others who let hatred consume them. Let us pause to mourn the passing of another life. Now, speak, and I will answer. Well, farewell, Gakoto. Some strange, strangled sound comes from the grill at the front of the tank. Before you go, what became of the device that bound Herja to her prison? Huh. I did save just now, so... But what exactly is it? Anyway. Ah. Let me just load. Because I want to see what that device actually does. Do you want compensation?
Sure enough.
Or be nice? Well, we are stealthy, Jack. We want compensation. A pause from the speakers and then... I agree. Your work has been exemplary, and it would be churlish of me to demand its return. The device is yours as a token of my gratitude. So, how do I actually... what do I do with it? Now, can we tell me what that is? When you have journeyed to the other side and told me what you found there, I will be happy to bestow your reward. Okay. I thought you might tell me what to do with it. Look there later. Delny. Why are you looking like that? Delny? Guess it's a bug. I guess it's a bug.
Let's go.
Okay. Let's not go into the cantina. Cantina. Not cantina. Cantina. But instead, let's go to Kian and tell her that, well, Vrung shouldn't be able to kick her anymore. Well, maybe he would be able, but he wouldn't do it. Oh, you Lascar people, I have found a helmet that looks just like, this one. Use item? Uh-huh. You examine the helm more closely. It gleams underneath the crusted... Sorry, one last pee break. I know I'm... there's only 3 more things I want to do, but I have to go. See you in 90 seconds.
Oh, hi there!
You examine the helm more closely, and gleams underneath the crusted filth work with a skill unmatched and... Mic check, You examine the helm more closely, and gleams underneath the crusted filth work with a skill unmatched and... Mic check. In this age. Its crest seems to contain a number of dark black cells that catch and hold the light. Fine traceries in the cells look as if they might gather or disperse energies. It looks as if you could fit it on your head. From within, a female voice speaks softly in a foreign tongue, musical but harsh. A few moments she pauses. After a few moments, she pauses and then speaks again. Look inside the helmet. The dark and padded interior has some faintly glowing nodules and soft synth fibers, but no visible eye slits or breathing apparatus. More importantly, the helm has been collecting rotting garbage and debris for what looks like decades, and as you scoop out this sodden mass, you discover fragmented bone, possibly that of the previous owner. You clean the helm as best you can. Closer examination of the interior suggests that it connects with its wearer through eye movement tracking. Once it synchronizes with the eye movement, the helm's internal circuitry develops a direct neural connection with its user. You suspect that it might also store past users' experiences and observations. Listen to the voice again. Though the words are spoken in the language of the truth, they are strangely accented and filled with growing alarm. Listening to the words, you piece together the speaker's last moments, greeting a stranger or a group of them, and discovering their murderous intent. Her skull fractured, she bled to death slowly, her body hidden in one of the trash heaps of the bloom. It's a wonder no one has found this helm until now. Try it on! The helm was clearly custom designed for a specific person's head, but you can't fit it around your skull with some fierce tugging. The odor of decomposition fills your nostrils as well as the accumulated filth of the bloom's trash. It is pitch black in the helm. No eye slits or breathing apparatus are immediately apparent to you, but after a few seconds a small light begins to blink in the corner of your visual field. As your eye automatically flickers to it, the helmet's air clears, degassing the foul stench, and you can feel the air circulating from hidden pumps inside the headpiece. Several unfamiliar symbols light up on the right side of your visual field. Most are dim, but one symbol shines brightly. If you had to guess, the dim symbols mark functions that are unavailable at this time. Bright symbol. A grid of smaller images appear. The bloom, pictures of the starry night sky, and images of various people. Look at the bloom. Among the many images here, you see several that depict places you have been, though their particulars have changed since these images were captured. You suspect that years have passed. The first image is of the vast interior chamber, its pathways and tendrils sprawling across the empty spaces. You see foul gases curling from the depths, a row of shops and upwardly built homes. And caravans pulled by a Neen traversing the strands. The courtyard outside the Numenera's fortress seems subtly different, and you look at it for a moment before two observations strike you. First, the uniforms of the guards are quite different from those who serve the current Numenera. You also notice that this image was taken from where the Catina's wreckage sits now. The area still looks as dingy and dangerous, but the lack of the Catina makes the space seem more open, less oppressed. The next image is of the bloom seen from a path descending from Saga's cliffs. Though you already had some sense of its immensity, its massive bulk momentarily takes your breath away. Wedged into the cleft between two massive escarpments, the bloom is both wide and long, with taut and massive tendrils anchored to the rock face. It looks as if the creature is dragging itself toward the inland sea. Very, very slowly. The final images in this collection depict Little Nihliesh, but not as you know it. Most of the people you see are ordinary humans. Gakota's great tank is nowhere to be seen. The piles of trash are smaller, and the ancient stone buildings still serve as habitations. Though an aura of squalor and disrepair taints the place, and you can almost smell the garbage, it seems nearly idyllic in comparison to current reality. These images must be at least a decade old. Okay, no short version, okay. The night sky? When you look at the first image, it expands outward again, showing a vast grid of other sights. Clearly, the owner of the helm took great care in recording the images of the ninth world sky. Either she loved the stars desperately, or she was collecting these shots to cross-reference with some other collection.
Making a note.
I have found something, the helm's former owner says. Must be certain. Must return to the anchorage and compare new data with the navigational cortex's archives. Weirdly accented, you know. Okay. People? People. The pulsing, moist walls of the bloom form the backdrop of all these images, so your guess is that the helm's original owner met each of these people during their visit here. You see Dracogen's tall form looming over a smaller man. Dracogen's smile is sharp and fierce, and the threat implicit in the way he holds himself tells you that he is about to exact some punishment on his quaking client. The next array of images shows the observant Spec, who looks exactly the same as she does in the current time. The diminutive woman is gesturing dramatically, probably in the midst of telling a story, an animated arm and coy smile shining through the static picture. The next images show, from a distance, the distinctive outline of waits for prey, its spikes and blades held in a threatening pose. Some unfortunate challenger is facing the construct, her electrified blade looking pitifully inadequate to the task. The final image is that of 3 human men. One of them holds aloft a jagged piece of strong glass, its end bloodied. The owner of the helm holds up a hand to ward off another blow. Blood gouts in the air. Take the helmet off. Put the helmet away. Hey, you Lascars, I found a helmet. Maybe you are interested? Sought have we, but alternate routes to the anchorage remain closed. Your fortune, has it been better? Questions first. Naturally, this one will seek provide informative truth. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you don't care about my new hat that I found? That's so cool. Oh, let's get to Kian now. And sleep there. If we may. And go to Bruska and tell her or him that we found and saved both the patrols. Journal. Yeah. Anchorage. Ah, there it is. Bruska, Bruska. I have found all of them. Hello, hello. Bruska tears her gaze away from the courtyard tunnel and glares at you. Need something? I don't have time to play the guide. They're all right. So it was you. Yes, you matched the description. I'm in your debt, it appears. Take this. It's not much, but it's what I can give. I guess with those headaches out of the way, I can focus on more important matters now. Important to some, anyway. Well, it's not really your business, But then neither of them are patrols, and I owe you that much. She shifts her weight and looks sidelong at the fortress door. The Mimavira. You've probably heard she doesn't leave the fortress anymore. Well, that's because of the way the Bloom's been acting lately. And I think I know what the Bloom's behavior means. Ever leave the fortress? Never. Not for months. So she's afraid of the Bloom, of what it might do to her. She thinks the closing and shifting of Moors is a message, a warning. Oh, yeah. What does it mean? Do you know how the Mimavira came to power? They say the Bloom helped her, that it turned against the old Mimavira and destroyed him. I was a kid, just a green mercenary at the time, but I remember the way the Bloom changed. The old Mimavira could, well, not control the Bloom. I don't think anyone can do that, but sort of coax the Bloom to do what he wanted. Then one day the Bloom just stopped responding. Moors closed or reopened in horrible places, and a few weeks later the old Mimavira was gone. She juts her chin toward the gate. The Mimavira sees the similarities too and doesn't want that to happen to her. So she's shutting the Bloom out. She doesn't know what to do. Just disappeared? They say the Bloom ate him, but I think it's worse than that. I've seen him, late at night sometimes, or in the dark corners of the Bloom. An old ghost in rags and long beard. Maybe I'm crazy, or maybe he isn't really dead. Maybe I'm crazy, or maybe he isn't really dead. Either way, I don't want to know. I don't know if we've ever seen someone like that here. Long tangled beard? I don't remember. Farewell.
Let's do it.
Hey, Mr. Decanted. We will get back to it later. Well, this one woman would have been perfect. Damn. Oh, Tibia. Level up, level up, level up, up. But in what way? Some concentration, maybe? More. Stealth, smashing, perception. Running? More health? Extra effort is... What's the abilities he has? But I don't use him to punch suckers. Well, he's ranged and melee. Should I just increase his speed? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Confirm. Now, Kian, I want to sleep here, and that's fine, I hope. Kian raises her head in a businesslike manner, belied only by her surroundings. You've returned. I don't suppose you've learned anything new about Daniel Rung. He won't bother you or her ever again.
Making a note.
Fascinating. Yes, that explains quite a lot. In that case, you have saved me and her. You have my endless gratitude. Please, accept this and thanks. If Rung is truly gone, I can afford a little excess. Feel free to sleep here anytime, no charge. A heat cup. This cup appears to have been roughly carved in one piece from a graphite material. It leaves a black residue on your fingers anytime you touch it. Certain, but not all, liquids poured into this cup will be heated to a boiling point immediately. There's no apparent pattern in what liquids it will or will not heat up, but it seems to activate specifically with synthetic liquids. There's no discernible power source on the device enabling it to heat the liquids. It could be the graphite material itself is the source of that energy, because it is so difficult to activate. It does not seem to be possible to tap directly into the cup's power source. Then, farewell. Let me level myself, please. Increase my... I have lots of intellect. But not that... It says only every 2 points increase something. Yeah, let's get a little bit more speedy. Because with my edge, I barely have to use any intellect. Confirm.
Need rest.
Yeah, okay. 1 point. Trained without armor? No. Resourceful? Well, more ciphers? Maybe I will use that. Hedge magic? No. Charm? No. Practice in armor. Esoteric attacks. Do I even have those? I don't. So... shit. What's my current armor cost? Dang. Helps flank. I mean, illusory warrior sounds cool, but I have enough people that can flank, so I don't need my illusory warrior. Ooh. +3 critical success. That's good. Weapon damage +3 if the target has any, they gain health equal to 50 damage dealt. I don't need health. Fleeing a cloud of nano in front of you, dealing 3 physical damage and confirming dazed. Also pushed away a short distance. 4 damage, that's not a lot. That's, on the other hand, that's cool. Infuse criticals with entropic fog, disrupted and taught the normal effects of the ability. I'm not using a ranged weapon, so brawler might be cool. On the other hand, +3 critical hit chance, +30%. So about every 3 times this will make a critical. More, okay, but not being flanked is also very good. Or more ciphers, but no, I will just sell them. I don't need them. think I like my critical success chances. With negative fatals does include flanked, so yeah. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Another skill to increase. Cipher use. Endurance, more health. Ciphers, maybe. More initiative. Yeah, maybe. I think that's pretty good for him. Machinery, I have Aligern for that. Also, I mean, I know everything with my intellect. And I have my flex skill for that, if I really want to. And like I said, my other people. So let's get more initiative. Yep. Goody, goody, goody. Apropos flex skill. Just to see. Oh. How can Tiber use this flex skill? Okay, he doesn't have any users left anyway, so okay. Let's get some... No. But yes. But no, but yes, but no. But yes. Collect some of the fluid. Yep. Drink some of the fluid. Let's get bloom juice. Leave the well alone. Good old bloom juice. And now, Kian, let me sleep. Kian, let me sleep, please. Please, Kian, let me sleep.
Something to do.
Save. Click. I like to sleep here, please. Of course. I'll bring you some food shortly, and I'll tell you some stories if you like. Enjoy your night.
You have no idea. Thanks.
So the decanted. Is anything else happen here? I don't think it did. I like the style of the bloom. I like me some reddish pink. Okay. Farewell.
Action.
Now let's get bloom juiced. Eris doesn't have any intellect. Okay. Okay. And, oh yeah, we do have our flex skill, which I want to use for mystical? Oh, no, he machinery, he mystical, I natural. Natural, machinery, mystical. Okay, so natural. I have a cool cloak, since when? Natural? And that's her, okay.
There we go.
And you, how can I use that? While we're not...
Of course.
I guess only in a crisis. I think. Yeah, okay. The negative fattles only because of cipher sickness. I know. I know. Ah, these two, I know. I know. Okay. Maybe we should sell some ciphers. Quick save and leave this game. Thank you for being here. I love you, Pippo. West Side. I don't know. We will see each other next Tuesday again. When maybe this might be the last Torment Tides of Numenera stream. Maybe. Next Tuesday, 5 o'clock until 19:30, or maybe a little later. Bye-bye.